My name is Samuel. I'm a personal trainer and life coach. Today I want to talk to you about how to best get a contraction in your muscle when you're doing an exercise. For this purpose, I'm not going to use any weights or anything. And the reason for that is I want you to be able to feel with one repetition the muscle you're trying to work. And if you can't feel it contracting, you probably don't know how to contract it properly. So let me show you. So going back to what I was talking about before, I could do this as a bicep curl meaning moving my wrist, my hand towards my shoulder in order to contract the bicep muscle, the front of my arm. So this is the action, and as you see, I'm moving it, but I'm not really, I can feel that it's working, but it's very light, as you can see. It's not a strong contraction. So what I can do is start the motion. Instead of just moving my hand, I can start the motion starting from the muscle I want to work, which is the bicep. So I want to contract the bicep and move my hand from that muscle rather than from my hand. Contracting and moving. Okay, it looks a lot different from me doing this. The other thing to help me with that contraction is resistance. And the resistance in this instance is going to come from my mind as if someone is pushing my hand down when I'm pulling it towards me. So again, looks the same, squeezing that muscle in the first place and then making that muscle contract, which will move my hand. The other thing is I want to make sure muscles that aren't supposed to be working or working as stabilizers do their job. Meaning that if I'm using a weight and I've done a few reps and now I can't do any more without using my shoulder or using my back, well, that's the time to stop, number one. And number two, it's a sign that you're using too much weight. If I'm trying to get to 10 reps and at 5, 6, I'm already using my back in the motion, that's because I just can't do that way. So stomach, back muscle should stabilize, my shoulder muscle should stabilize and not be involved, because what's it got to do with my bicep? I'm trying to work this muscle, not that one and not that one, not as an active motion anyway. The next point is range of motion, okay? So I see a lot of people doing this because it just feels natural. But the natural motion is I grab the bag from down here, which my arm is fully extended, and I pick it up to me. It wasn't this action. So think about the things that you do in your life. It's going to be a range of motion, and the fuller the range, the stronger the contraction. Okay, so again, I'm starting down here. My shoulder is in the joint. My back and my stomach are squeezed for stabilization. And then I'm going to squeeze that muscle, pretend there's resistance, and do my bicep curl. Just to add one more point to this, my stance, for this particular exercise anyway, can be a factor, okay? So this is a stance that is less stable than putting one foot forwards and one foot back, and it depends on the exercise. And like if I've got a barbell and I'm doing a back row, well then it might interfere with my leg here, so obviously I need to do something parallel. But if I can stabilize better and I'm using a heavier weight, so for this bicep curl, and use that back foot to give me that range of motion, so the same side as my hand is curling, I'm putting the foot back to allow so it won't interfere with the range. Having a split stance with hip width apart, because again, if I stood like this, not so stable, is much more stable, and it will help me stabilize using my abs, shoulder back, and doing that curl. So think about these things when you're doing your next exercise and give it a go. Let me know how it is.